is legalism? According to dictionary.com, legalism is the strict adherence or the principle of strict adherence to law or prescription, especially to the letter rather than the spirit. Now, many Christians today declare that the fourth commandment of God is legalistic. It can be found in Exodus chapter 20 verses 8 to 11, which says, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day, and hallowed it." And so I must ask, how is it that spending an entire day with the Creator God is legalistic? We who value our relationships with friends, family members, and other loved ones know that our relationships grow and are made much closer when we spend time with those people. And this is all our Creator is asking us to do, is to spend time with Him upon the seventh day of every week, keeping it holy. And yet, this is declared to be legalism. Why is it that the Sabbath day, which the Creator God made for man, to bring man to his source of eternal happiness, why is it that that day, which He sets apart for us weekly, is termed legalism? After all, it does say in Mark chapter 2 verses 27 to 28, "And He said unto them, The Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore the Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath." Jesus is Lord of the Sabbath. He is the Lord that created all that is seen and unseen. He is the Creator of our little world. And He it is whom we claim is our dearest hope. And yet for some reason, many do not obey Him on this point, and opt rather to join in the pleasures of the world than to rest in peace with Him. I mean, could it be that the Christian actually loves this world more than they love Christ? Could it be that we actually have no desire to spend an entire day with the Creator, and that's why this day is called legalistic? It's not like Jesus is asking us to lay down on our beds all day and stare at the roof in a boring state of idleness. He's asking us to come and spend time with Him. Keep the day holy. He is our God, and we are in covenant relationship with Him. If we don't adhere to it, we break this covenant, and He is no longer our God. We may call Him our God, but sadly He is not truly our God. For it is written in Isaiah chapter 4 verse 1, "And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread, and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach." In this prophecy lies the prophetic utterance that describes the doom of those churches and people who reject Christ and the law. The symbols of this prophecy are such, briefly described: 7 being the number representing perfection and completeness, women representing churches, one man, that one man of whom they are holding on to is Christ, bread being the word of God, for man doth not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God, and apparel, which is the Christian walk. So basically what this verse is saying is that in that day, all the churches shall take their hold upon Christ and say, we will eat our own bread. That is, we will read the Bible however we want to read it, and wear our own apparel. That is, we will walk however we want to walk, and not how you have walked, Christ. Just let us be called Christians, though, to take away our shame, our reproach. And this is the exact direction soon all the world that rejects Christ's Sabbath shall be in. If we continue to call him Lord, but we can't even spend an entire day with him without calling that legalism, what shall be our end? I mean, do we even know the Lord at that point? As a matter of fact, how do you get to know someone you don't even spend time with? And this is what Christ is asking us to do, to spend time with him. And thus, this sad and fearful denunciation must be pronounced upon those who reject the Sabbath of the Lord. Matthew chapter 7, verses 21 to 23. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Christ will plainly declare to those who will not worship the Lord of the Sabbath that he never knew them. And rightly so, for they refused to spend the quality time with him that he asked them to. And despite the fact that they claimed to do many wonderful works in his name, they in actuality never knew him. And so he declared, Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. What is iniquity? From Strong's Greek, number 459, illegality, that is violation of the law, or generally wickedness, iniquity, transgression of the law, unrighteousness. So iniquity is wickedness, the transgression of God's law, lawlessness. Christ will declare to the lawless Sabbath breakers who never spent time with him to truly get to know him, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Thanks for watching. God bless.